Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. How you guys doing today? It is currently 11:45, Friday, May 3rd. We are here on Season 3, Episode 14 for you all. Let's get right to it. First up, our first segment, we're going to be going over the 10 implications that fans have to realize going into the college football season next year. 10 implications. We'll go into detail about those 10. Then after that, we're going to go into 2 seconds that we've been doing all so far, going over the NBA and NHL playoff bracket and how the series stand out. We had 2 series wrap up last night. We have 2 series possibly wrapping up tonight, as well as the NHL. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. So first up, let's get right to what I should even go with as of the sports world. Here we go. 10 implications that college football fans really have to understand coming into next season. Now, the expanded college football playoff will debut following the 2024 season, radically transferring the future of the sport. When the four-team CPF debuted following the 2014 season, it fielded 3% of the football bowls subdivision. This year, that number balloons to 9%. More teams invited means more complications. Some of the biggest questions are purely logistical. Others will center on teaching viewers about the system following the biggest controversy of CFP era, getting fans to understand the process in an extensional task. A quick refresher on the new system. 12 teams will make the expanded CFP 5 conference champs and 7 at-large teams. The 4 highest-ranked conference champions are guaranteed the top 4 seeds with byes, and the remaining 8 teams are seeded in order. Seeds 5 to 8 will host seeds 9 to 12 in first-round games on campus, with the winners heading to the quarterfinals against the top 4 seeds at New Year's 6 bowl sites. From there is a tournament. The four first-round games are arguably the biggest chance in FBS football probably since BCS came to be. CFP Executive Director Bill Hancock said in April only 4 schools will host those games, but 40 or so have planned to host, so there's a lot of details there. Now, some pieces of the process remain the same. The CFP field will still be decided by a 13-member committee using the same criteria. Despite this, virtual directed at the bond after undefeated Florida State was left out in favor of Alabama this past season. CFP polling claims a 79% approval rating for the board with a brand new system and dramatically increased access. Plenty of fans will be shocked when the actual machinations and playoff debut this winter. Here are 10 things fans need to prepare for, like I said, heading into the new system. First off, differentiating ranking from seeding. The picture this college football playoff releases its final rankings. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State easily round out the top 4. It's just like they did during the 2022 season. The bracket appears on the broadcast, and sitting in their 3rd spot is number 7, Clemson. Welcome to the new world of seeding. CFP Management Committee recently went through the bracketing exercise during their annual meetings in Dallas and modified the 2022 field as a placeholder. Immediately, the confusion became clear. The 4 teams that would have earned byes, assuming the adjusted 2024 conference affiliations, were the number 1 Georgia, number 2 Michigan, number 7 Clemson, number 8 Utah, number 3 TCU moved to the number 5 seed, and number 4 seed Ohio State to the number 6 seed. Number 16 Tulane was the final auto bid, nudging to number 12 Washington out of the field, captured the number 12 seed. Hancock emphasized after bracketing exercise, ranking, seeding, keep those words in mind, ranking and seeding. Unlike in college basketball, the presence of byes dependent on the conference champions means the top 4 teams in the field could get weird. In 2021, again, assuming 2024 conference affiliations, ACC champion Pittsburgh was number 12 in CFP rankings. The Panthers would have jumped to number 3 Georgia to enter as the number 4 seed, with every conference now featuring their top 2 teams in title games. Upsets could have made the field look even weirder. So that's one. Two more snubs and controversies. The CFP got off easy in its first 9 years, but the biggest controversy erupted last season in year 10. Florida State became the first undefeated Power 5 champion in 20 years not to play for the national championship. Part of for the reason CFP expanded was to diffuse such issues. Who cares the number 13 team gets left out, a number 12 team field? Except it may not be number 13, it might be number 7. That is one of the biggest issues with the current structure. The highest ranked group of 5 champions is guaranteed a spot. That means a group 5 team could get in over deserving and higher ranked teams from Power 4 conference. Had 12 team bracket been in place last year, number 23 Liberty 13-0, but without a win versus a ranked team would have been the group of 5 rep consistently. Number 12 Oklahoma 10-2 would have been left out, as would number 13 LSU and number 14 Arizona. First time this happens, and it will happen, there will be an outcry. Oh, and if there is no ranked group of 5 champion, that almost happened last season. The selection committee decides in secret who the team will get. Get your questions ready for the selection committee chair, Dennis Dodd. Number 3, load management opt-outs. Teams safely in a field resting their players is unavoidable and likely, so are opt-outs from players with big-time NFL futures. We already told you. Not in Ohio State, Michigan, but think of conference championship game in which both teams are basically playing for seeding. It won't be blatant, but think of the injured quarterback who starts the week as questionable or going to risk a playoff run to win a conference championship in the playoffs. Are you going to risk a lucrative NFL future if you're, say, Bryce Young or Caleb Williams? If you can't answer that question immediately, you may be made my point for me. If collective bargaining emerges, and it will eventually, expect language to be written into deal guaranteeing players must play in games if healthy. I think we send a bad message to young men who opt out, said Arkansas AD Hunter Yurchik, a member of CFP selection committee. You're turning your back on your teammates. You're turning your back on your schools. As their NIL deals come to fruition, they're out to be some type of incentive in contracts for you to play in those games. Dodd. I definitely agree with the coach. I do think that it's not the greatest thing to see when your players opt out. It really doesn't look so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Now, from campus to out of town, first round games will be on campus beginning this year until December 20th and 21. All good, except some campuses weren't made to host football games in late December because of the whole darn academic thing. Schools like Penn State are already dealing with the possible conflicts. There will be 3 CFP games played on Saturday, December 21st. Penn State's fall commencement is the next day. If you've ever been to a state college, Pennsylvania, you know how hotel rooms are a premium, and it's not like there are enough nearby hotels in neighboring towns to handle the overflow. You are warned here first. If Penn State is hosting a first-round game, the contest might be in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, not exactly Beaver Stadium, especially if it's a rematch against the Big Ten team. Utah women's basketball horrifying experience during NCAA tournament was the perfect example of the potential cost of logistics quandary. With multiple events planned in Spokane, Washington, the Utes were focused to stay in the Catalina, Idaho for the Gonzaga regional. Players and personnel said they were repeatedly bantered with slurs while staying in town. Now, bowl-ins will impact sites. Most of the time, you won't lead much consequence. The SEC champ would almost always choose the Sugar Bowl, as well. The Big Ten champ will rarely say no to the Rose Bowl berth. Expansion does throw a wrench in it, though, for the quarterfinal games. If, for example, SMU was to make the field, the Mustangs might prefer staying in town for the Cotton Bowl because of their bowl contract with ACC. SMU will automatically prioritize the Orange Bowl instead, the bowl game farthest away. Then there's a Group 5 deletion. You have the problems with scheduling against the NFL. Notre Dame conundrum. The conference game rematches, and the bracket reveal changes. So there's a lot here that really shows a different message than what we are originally seeing. I mean, if you look at it, you have all the problems that we have listed, right? You have everything that's really listed in bold letters, and there's really nothing that you could really say that there's really if there really is anything really to say, I wouldn't be going into, oh well, yeah, so this is that, this is this. There's a lot of different implications for this college football season. I think it's going to be great. My initial thoughts on just what we looked at, I'm cool with. I'm a Ohio State Buckeyes fan, so we gonna take this to the top. This is gonna be a good. It's gonna be good. I like its competition. Also sees that like you can really go at it. It really feels more like any team can make it. Any team's got a chance to beat anybody. So I think I if I'm gonna say anything, I really do think that this is going to be a good thing for college football. I really do. I think it's going to be a great thing for college football, and I think we just got to accept it because it's here to stay. And I think college football will love it themselves. I just think that, again, like I said, this is going to be something good for college football. Everyone's gonna say, no. Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is definitely going to be something to look at. Because of just the glaring factor of having a season where you can have 12 teams in the playoffs and really not go into any depth about it. We are on TikTok Live right now. We are about 11 minutes into my show. We just going over the college football 10 implications that fans really have to look out for before the season really starts. But all teams are going to have it like a lot of the different scenarios that teams have made, which is basically saying the Group 5 dilation, problems with scheduling against the NFL. That's going to be a big one, especially on December 21st when you have all the scheduled games for the NFL on Christmas and all that stuff. That's going to be a little tough. So we'll see how that plays out, and really how people can really go into things. Notre Dame conundrum. The automatic bye for everyone else. They will play at the extra game, be seeded most likely no better than number 5. The rationale is that since Notre Dame doesn't play a league championship game, it will give an extra week off to prepare. Now, is that the good thing about the college football playoffs next year? I would say so, but at the same time, you never know. There's different things. Conference game rematches is at number 9, like we said earlier, and then the bracket reveal changes. There's just a lot of it. Sources told CBS Sports that CFP and ESPN are still mulling the options on how to present the final bracket. Some of the delay of releasing the whole field historically also centers around contacting New Year's Six's Bulls to let them know the logistics. All of that will have to move much faster when 12 teams are on the hook. So that's pretty much it for that. I mean, we are going over the college football. We're going over the college football right now, and how will it look next season? I don't know. I'm just I'm a little perplexed on how it's going to work. I hope it works really well. I think it will work really well, but again, you never know because sometimes these committees, they like to change things around, and sometimes it's not for the good. But I think it is in general going to be for the good because of the fact that it's just good to see more teams in the college football, because there are teams that were left out last year that should have been in. There are teams that maybe could make an upset, maybe could do something cool about it, maybe can be like, all right, well, since they went that far, since they went 13-0, since they went 12-1, 10-2 against their conference, maybe they could deserve the shot, and maybe they can surprise somebody. But at the same time, sometimes that doesn't really happen. So I think it's just, you got to pick your poison with this. So now, guys, we are back, and we are going to be going over the NBA and NHL playoff brackets. So let's get right to that. First up, NBA. Let's go over what's happening right now. Tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, you have Game 6 between the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers. I think they close it out in Dallas. I'm sorry, but if the Clippers win this game and it goes to Game 7, I'm sorry. Victor, I'm sorry, man. Go C's. I can't go for the Clippers, man. They never are on the same page with each other. Paul George is the only guy out there now with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Kawhi looks like he ain't gonna play again unless there's more information on that. But I got to go with the Mavericks. They just blew them out the other game. I think they're playing their best basketball. They've shown it over the last 18 games in the season. They had the best record going into the playoffs of any team in the NBA. So I think the Mavericks found something with Kyrie Irving and Luka, and their defensive efficiency is fantastic against really anybody. So I am definitely going to take the Mavericks to go to the second round. Appreciate all the guys, people that are in here. Please share the live and go like the live and give me a follow. That would be great. But let's move on. So Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT, depending on how most likely conference semifinals will start up, where number 1 Thunder will probably meet number 5 Mavericks in OKC, and that's going to be one hell of a series. Then you have the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets, which is on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. That is going to be one hell of a series. I am going to take the Timberwolves winning this game as well as winning this series. I think the Timberwolves win in – I'm going to say the Timberwolves win in 7. I'm going to take the Mavericks beating OKC in 6. And then on the other side, you have the Cavs versus the Magic. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, I think the Cavs take it down, the Magic in 6, and advance to play the Celtics on May 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC, where I'm going to take the Boston Celtics winning this series in 6 and Boston winning the first game at home. Then at Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Pacers versus the Knicks. The Pacers won and the first time made it to the second round in 10 years, taking down the Bucks. Damian Lillard and Giannis. Giannis was out. Dame played, but obviously was not 100%. Pacers won in 6. Knicks finally get a series win in a while. They advance to the second round to face on the Pacers on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. Jalen Brunson dropped over 40 with 12 assists last night to take down the 76ers. Valiant effort by the 76ers, but just couldn't get the job done yet again. Pacers-Knicks series is going to be one hell of a series. I'm going to take the Knicks winning this series. I think this series goes 7. This is going to be a tough series for both teams, and I think the Knicks prevail, and I think the Knicks win in 7 games in Madison Square Garden to advance to the conference finals to probably verse the Celtics, where it'll be with the 1 versus the 2, and then I don't know from there. And then I think it's going to be Mavericks, Timberwolves in the conference finals, Knicks, Celtics in the conference finals, and I'm probably going to go with Timberwolves. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that for later. Cassius, my day's going great, man. How's your day going? Appreciate the likes. Appreciate it. Appreciate the comments. Don't forget to share the live if you can. That would be great. But yeah, we're not gonna be on here for that much. I started my show a little late. I was already 11 minutes in when I got you guys on live. Celtics all the way. I like to say that. I'm not a Celtics fan, as you guys know. I'm a Lakers fan. Everyone that's in, you guys should share the live and give me a follow. That would be greatly appreciated. But Celtics all the way, Victor. I'm not so certain. I really can't say Celtics all the way. That they should have swept the Heat. It just shows without Kristaps Porzingis, we don't know what his timetable of coming back. He should be back in the Cavs series if the Cavs do make it to the against the Celtics. But it's going to be hard for the Celtics to take down either Denver or the Timberwolves. I think whoever wins the series between the Timberwolves and Nuggets, lock to the finals. And I don't know. I think the Timberwolves and Nuggets could beat the Celtics pretty easily. I do think that Celtics are not as good as people think they are. I just think their weakness is that they're never consistent. They always drop those games where they should win. But again, I think the Celtics will make it to the finals, but they're going to have a tough outing against the Knicks. The Knicks make it there versus the Celtics. The Knicks, it's going to be a tough one for the Celtics to get past. So I wouldn't put all of my cookies in the jar and say, oh, well, Celtics are riding all the way and winning the finals. They still got to go through the Pacers and the Knicks. On top of they got to go through the Cavs, which have been playing really good basketball of late. So we'll see what happens there. But that is pretty much it for the NBA side of things. We are now moving on to the NHL. And this bracket has really went nuts. We have a 3-2 series lead between Dallas and Vegas, which happens tonight. I think Dallas does advance and wins and defeats the defending champs in 6 to advance against Colorado. I think the Timberwolves versus Nuggets and Celtics versus Knicks. Yep. I would say that, but the problem is that the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are playing right now, so whoever would win would have to either play Mavericks or OKC. So I think it's Mavericks versus Timberwolves, Celtics versus Knicks to go to the NBA Finals. That's my picks for the West and the East. What are yours? Now, for the NHL, I think Dallas will advance to take down the defending champs in 6 to go against the Colorado Avalanche. And I think what a shocker for me was Winnipeg losing 4-1. I didn't think they were going to get killed like that, but hey, that just shows Winnipeg wasn't as good as people thought they were, and the Avalanche showed that they were the better team. So it's Avalanche versus Stars. Then you had Oilers take down the Kings in a gentleman's sweep. Like I really predicted, I didn't think LA Connor McDavid is just a beast. Vancouver versus Nashville. What a series this was. To be honest, Nashville's been playing better than Vancouver. Vancouver's been playing ass. Just Nashville hasn't been consistent and has really just fumbled the bag multiple times. But they've been playing way better than Vancouver. So I believe that Nashville doesn't get the win. I think Vancouver wins in 6 to advance to play the Oilers. So we're going to have Stars versus Avalanche, Oilers versus Canucks for the western side of things. Now we go to the eastern side of things. Thunder and Wolves. I'm a Hurricanes fan. You're a Hurricanes fan? Damn, Cash, man. I'm a freaking Rangers fan. Why you got to be a Hurricanes fan, bro? Sorry, you guys ain't winning against my Rangers. Sorry. Now, if you guys do, you can clown the shit out of me. But I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, I think the Rangers are playing their best hockey over the last couple years. And I really don't think they can really be beat by any team. The only team that I think that the Rangers could lose to is the Florida Panthers. I think that's going to be their toughest outing. I know the Hurricanes, it's going to be a tough one. I don't even think it's either Rangers win in 6 or Rangers win in 7. It's going to be that type of a series. I would be very shocked if the Rangers do beat the Carolina Hurricanes in any other fashion other than 6 or 7 games. If it's below that, then you know what? You'll be back when the Rangers lose. Okay. All right, man. I'm going to be sitting right here when the Rangers win. You'll be back when the Hurricanes lose. That's how it's going to go. But yeah, like we said, Rangers versus Hurricanes round 2 is going to be a hell of a series. Both division rivals. It's going to go down to the wire. I got Rangers winning in 6 or 7. For Vancouver versus the Oilers, I got Vancouver winning in 7. Avalanche versus Dallas. I'm going to have Dallas winning in, I believe, 7. I got both games there, 7. I got Rangers winning in 6 or 7, but I'm going to probably go with 6. Florida, Boston and Toronto have to be – Boston and Toronto would have to be one of the craziest series of all of them. I thought Boston was going to win in 6, but, man, Boston just let Toronto come right back in this series. It's a 3-3 tie going into Game 7 in Boston. We'll see what happens, but I do think Boston prevails, and Boston advances to versus the Florida Panthers rematch from last year's first round, where I think still the Panthers get the best of Boston, and I think they win in I got them winning in 6 games. I think Panthers, Rangers win in 6, Avalanche or Dallas and Canucks win in 7 to advance to the Western Conference Finals, where it'd be Dallas versus Canucks. Florida versus Rangers, and that's how it's going to go from there. Now, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go any further. Like I said, with the NBA, I'm going to end with the conference finals where it would be matched up against. But that is pretty much it for the NHL. Again, just to recap what we went over on my show here today. We're currently 25 minutes in. We did the college football news and what fans, 10 things that fans should be aware of coming next year's college football season. I'll just run down the list of them just so you guys that are on my live can realize what I'm talking about. First up, you have the differentiating of ranking from seeding. Number 2, more snubs and controversies. 3, load management opt-outs. 4, from campus to out of town. Bowl tie-ins will impact sites. Number 6, group of 5 deletion. 7, problems with scheduling against the NFL. 8, the Notre Dame conundrum. 9, the conference game rematches. And number 10, the bracket reveal changes. So those are the top 10 things that what to expect from college football playoff expansion and the 10 complications fans must prepare for from seeding to the NFL interference. So those are that. That's what we talked about earlier in the show. If you guys want to take a look at that, you guys can check that out once we post our show in the next couple hours. But I'll catch you guys there. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys on my TikTok later today as we go over what happened last night, what happens in the sports world so far. We also had some news just come upon us as we have the Dolphins and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. agreed to a 1-year deal worth of $8.25 million. So Odell Beckham has just got signed by the Dolphins. If the Dolphins don't do something this year, I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. It's just ridiculous. But I appreciate all the likes, guys. We got 1K likes on our live here today. And that would be pretty much it for my show here on the Fire Sports Pod. I'm your host, Zack Jackson, here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. Hope you guys enjoy your rest of your Friday afternoon and enjoy your weekend. I will catch you guys next on Recap Monday on the Fire Sports Pod, where we'll be going over what happened during the weekend. And I'll catch you guys there. Peace out. Have a great rest of your weekend.